We're going to start the rainbow pride pins, and we're going to start beading the pink row of rainbow. So you're going to take your needle, you're going to poke around in the back of the pellin until you come to the base of that purple row. I like to keep just the point of the needle going through the back. You have better control of where you're going to come out. And now I'm going to add the beads. I'm going to add all of the beads on at once. That's going to take it to the other side of the rainbow pin. And then you're going to put your needle down at the base of that purple row. Pull. And so this is how your beads are going to look. And now we are going to tack down this row using the tack down method. So we're going to come to the left side of the beads, and I'm going to tack down every third bead. And all I'm going to do is go to the other side, and this string is going to go over top of those beads. And to keep the beads tight, I usually put my thumb over the beads to hold them in place. And pulling my string tight as I'm coming up. I'm going over top of that row to secure those beads in place. These are a size 10 seed bead. And you can see it doesn't exactly take the entire space of this bead, of this row. So I like to just kind of move it over a little bit away from that blue row, just so it's more in the center. And there will be a little bit of space in your beadwork from row to row, but once it's finished, it's not noticeable. Just make sure you're moving your beads so they lay flat as you're beading. So as you can see, as I'm moving the beads down to tack on, there's a little bit of slack there, so that means there's too many beads. So I'm going to show you how to pop a bead off so you don't have to take this all apart. So you're going to take a pair of pliers, and you're going to grab one of these beads, careful not to grab the string, and then you're just going to pinch the bead. And because these beads are glass, it's going to break. There we go. So I popped 2 beads, and you can see we got a little bit of movement there. Just want to make sure there's no spaces up here as you're tacking down. So I'm going to continue to tack every third bead. So why it's okay that it has a little bit of movement here is because this string is going to take up a little bit of the space on this row. And that's going to help it to not move. Looks good. So now that this row is finished, I'm going to do a row at the bottom, the base of all of these colors with white. And I'm going to start right here and add a row of white beads to get me to the other side of this purple. Now that the staples are off, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to run it along on the outside of the white beads, and that's going to score it, and it's going to make taking off the paper easier without ripping underneath the beadwork. I'm going to tie off my string back here, and we're going to cut out the beadwork. You can see. So now we're going to cut out our beadwork. You're going to want to use a sharp pair of scissors. When you cut out your beadwork, because the pellin is white and we're going to edge with white beads, and to ensure you don't cut any of the string in the back, we're going to leave a little trim of white pellin on the beadwork. About that much is okay. Speed up, speed up, speed up, or
bring it over.
Oh, shit. There you So next we're going to sew on the bar pin. And to do that, we're going to sew it onto the back of the beadwork, and I'm going to mark out on the sparkle backing that we're going to be adding where I need to cut to make slits for the bar pin. So just a little estimate. You'll need a pen for this. So you're going to put the bar pin on the sparkle backing, and you're going to mark out here and here. It doesn't have to be exact. This is really forgiving. And I'm going to cut the lines up and down. So I usually fold my backing, a little slit here, and a little slit here. And now we're going to sew on the bar pin to the back of the beadwork. Kind of place it where you want it to be sewn. And you're going to take your needle and thread, knot the end. So in the bar pin, there's 2 circles here. I'm going to tack down the bottom of the bar pin on the circle part and the top part. And I'm going to do that on both ends, and that's going to secure it to the back of the beadwork. Okay, so now that that circle is tacked down, I'm just going to come back up my beadwork. And we're just going to put a knot to secure that. So now that the bar pin is secure, if you do have a glue stick handy, you can add some glue to the back of the beadwork, but it's honestly not necessary. And then we're going to put the sparkle backing with the 2 slits in it, and we're going to add the bar pin through these 2 slits that we had cut out. And then that's how it's going to look in the back. And in the front, now we can just cut out the sparkle backing. And now we're going to use the white beads, and we're going to edge this. To edge, we're going to go between the sparkle backing and the pellin, and we're going to hide our knot back there. To do the edging, we're going to add 2 beads. We're going to come through the back of the sparkle backing to the front of the pellin, and then we're going to go up through that last bead, and we're going to repeat this going all the way around the beadwork. I usually like to turn my beadwork around so I could see where I'm going through the back, and to try to make the this helps to make these stitches evenly spaced. And because we left that row of pellin around the beadwork, we have a space to grab onto when we're doing our edging. Once you're done going around, you're just going to knot in the back, cut it off, and this is your beadwork.